On the day of your practical driving test, you are approaching an intersection and your driving examiner is silent and says nothing. Do you go left, straight, or right? Where do you go? That's what we're gonna discuss in this video. So usually people fail their driving test because of different reasons. Maybe they are not ready, got nervous, or something unexpected happens during the driving test and they react incorrectly. But sometimes there are also people who fail their driving test not because they are not ready, but because they simply failed to understand this one thing. The driving examiner is not always going to give directions. So the question is, why wouldn't a driving examiner give directions? The reason the driving examiner might not give directions is because sometimes they want to see if the person taking the driving test is reading road signs and markings. They would have explained what is expected and what the test is about before the test even starts. For example, in Queensland, there is something called a message from the driving examiner, which tells the test candidate where to go if the driving examiner is not giving directions. So part of the message from the driving examiner reads like this: QSAFE is designed to evaluate your ability to drive safely and correctly in different driving situations, which may include a variety of speed zones. I'll be asking you to undertake a series of driving tasks throughout the assessment. You will be given clear directions in ample time. If I don't give you any specific directions, please follow the road and be directed by road signs, signals, and road markings. So basically, the driving examiner wants to see if the learner driver is reading road signs and markings. Some people claim that the driving examiner was not in a good mood and they were distracted and didn't give them directions. But that's not what we are talking about today. Whatever the reason, you should still be able to pass your driving test if you drive safely and obey all the road signs, signals, and road markings. To help you understand what we are talking about, let's look at some scenarios. In this first example, let's say you are approaching a roundabout and the driving examiner says nothing. Here we read the road markings: slow down, give way, and proceed straight. If there are no road markings, it means that both lanes can go straight. Here we are approaching a set of traffic lights. The driving examiner says nothing, so we can just continue straight ahead as there are no road markings. Let's look at a scenario which is a bit more confusing. In this example, we are approaching a set of traffic lights and we are in the left lane with arrows pointing to the left. Here, if the driving examiner doesn't give any directions, we are supposed to either change lane and continue straight or turn left. Be careful though, because if the driving examiner has asked you to stay in the left lane, that means that you must turn left because of the road markings. In this third example, we are approaching a set of traffic lights and we are in the right lane with arrows pointing to the right. In this case, if the driving examiner doesn't give directions, we are supposed to either indicate right and turn right or change to the left lane and continue straight. Again, be careful, because if the driving examiner has asked you to stay in the right lane, that means that you must turn right because of the road markings. A situation that you may come across is where there is a car parked in the left lane. Of course, you want to overtake the parked vehicle when safe to do so, but after overtaking, we have to change back to the left lane in order to continue following the road. If you stay in the right lane, you must turn right as there are arrows pointing to the right. In this fourth example, the driving examiner has asked you to continue straight at the roundabout, but you realize too late that you should be in the left lane. Here, the best thing to do is to just indicate right and turn right. Be sure to apologize to the examiner and acknowledge your mistake. Most of the time, the good news is that because you followed the road markings correctly and you didn't break any road rules, most of the time, the driving examiner is not even gonna mark this as a driving error. The last example is where the examiner has asked someone to go right, but is too busy to change lane. In this situation, instead of trying to cut off another road user, just continue, then the examiner is going to direct you somewhere else. So long story short, if the driving examiner doesn't give you directions, Just go where the arrows or the road signs says that you should go. They will only fail someone if they do something unsafe or break a road rule. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next driving related video.